Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Ken 2K2 Plays. For too long has Malgate been torturing us with the content of collaboration, and today I'm glad to finally present to you two-thirds of a gal, Baiken. We will be discussing Baiken's skill set, the material needed and where to get them, as well as a discussion on what I think would be suitable for her gearing and the stat for the equipment. Now before we begin, if you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe to my channel, as this will help me continue to bring this channel to life. Now on to the character. Baiken is a Scorpion Earth Thief, so in order to upgrade her skill trees and awakening, you will be needing these materials below. The first one is Erikion Carapace. You can farm for this in the stages listed over here. Personally, I'd recommend going to Savara, as that's the only place you can farm in world difficulty. You will also need this for your 5th potential awakening. The second material you'll need is the Sharp Spearhead. This will be used for your skill enhancement, and you can farm for this in the location listed over here. Stage 3S Fudge Frontier is the only stage with world difficulty. As for the third and hardest material to farm is the Black Curse Powder. Location would be stage 8, 9-2 and 10 in world difficulty. This will be required for both your last skill enhancement and 6th potential awakening. Baiken offers a very interesting playstyle to the game, even though she requires some setup prior to her ultimate damage. Also by introducing a unique mechanic called Detonate, which will release all bleed stacks damage in one go, Baiken serves as a great addition to support bleed reliant heroes like Haste, Surin and Sigurd that accumulate damage over time to burst the enemy right away. Of course, that doesn't mean she requires above mentioned hero to shine. Baiken functions just as well with her self-sufficient skill set below. For example, her first skill, Tatami Gaishi, has Baiken flips over a tatami and attack the enemy, causing 2 bleed stacks that last for 2 turns each with 45% chance to 70% chance to proc depending on level, while also decreasing all her skills cooldown by 1 turn on critical hit. Her second skill, Tsurane Sanzu Watashi, an attack that will cause 3 bleed stacks that last for 2 turns each, with a 55% chance to 80% chance to proc depending on skill level. Not only that, but after awakening, if you score a critical hit with this skill, you will get an extra turn. This skill has a 4 turn cooldown. Now on to her ultimate core mechanic, Gario Tensei. Baiken will attack the enemy and detonate all bleed stacks inflicted on it. And because bleed damage ignores 70% of the target's defense, this skill will cause a huge amount of damage regardless of the enemy's defense. And furthermore, if you hit this with a critical hit, you will also increase all your allies' combat readiness by 15% to 25% depending on skill level. The damage will be further increased with the cost of 1 bar of soul. This skill has an innate cooldown of 7 turns. And let's not miss our unique character artifact for Baiken, the Torn Sleeve. The effect of this artifact is whenever the wearer attacks an enemy, be it normal attack or skill, there is a 50% chance to 100% chance to inflict 1 stack of bleed that will last for 2 turns. Depending on the level of the artifact, at max level, this artifact gives 273 attack and 416 health to the hero. This artifact supports the whole archetype of bleed stacking as well as for the monster that requires number of debuffs like the Wyvern. It is a nice addition for Baiken, but it is not a must. Skill order wise, because Baiken's core mechanic requires her to stack bleed in order to be effective, you can level everything until it hits the plus 10% or plus 15% effectiveness and it should be fine. And if you have any spare Molgoras, you can also level her ultimate, but that is not essential. Now as for Baiken's equipment suggestion, I recommend gearing her with a 4-piece attack and a 2-piece critical or hit set. Baiken is a very demanding hero when it comes to stats. Her bleed damage comes from 30% of her attack stat. She needs effectiveness to proc her bleed more reliably. Critical hit chance will also trigger her additional effect of her skill. And lastly, you will need speed and health for general purposes. But luckily she has a pretty high innate attack stat and critical hit chance. And also critical damage is not very important on her, so that lifts off a bit of burden from her equipment. Regardless, she will need a heavy investment in the equipment section. With that comes to an end to our 1/2 Shenko wannabe, Baiken introduction and guide. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Love ya.
Destroy.
まだか。